Hey guys, it's Shelby Michelle with Farmhouse Living and welcome back to our channel. So today we have a new series that we're launching and we're calling it Design Dilemma. And we are going to virtually, digitally,
yes,
over the computer,
over the interwebs,
we are going to transform a space that we felt like could help the most people. So our goal with this series is to choose rooms that we can make choices and answer questions that we feel like a lot of people have.
Common design dilemmas.
Common design dilemmas. So that's
right.
Why it's called Design Dilemma.
And we're working on a theme song for Design Dilemma.
Design Dilemma. So my hope with this is that we don't come off like, if your rug's the wrong size, it always needs to be this or it always needs to be that. Because I have watched videos where it makes it feel like design is intimidating. This is more to clue you in when you're looking at your space and you're like, why is this not working? Or when you're looking and you can't really resolve why it's not flowing or getting the look that you're going for. As we're solving these problems, you can start to see that in your own space.
Right.
So we're going to show a complete before and after with an actual 3D rendering that's photorealistic, so it feels like you get true before and afters when this is all said and done. So let's start with the befores and what my friend Elizabeth said her design dilemma is. So here, befores. She says her design dilemma is that her living room really is a mashup of new things, old things, and things from college. Her husband brought some things to the table, she brought some things from the table, and it just feels like it has no identity. I feel like that's a very common problem. People feel like, what's my style? What am I going for? I have this odd collection and I can't go buy an entire new.
However, we found that Elizabeth's main problem was not that at all. We found that she actually had some issues with
scale. There was stuff that was mostly everything was too small.
Yeah.
And so I mean, in general, I would say we are attracted to things that make bigger impact, but that doesn't mean that everything has to be big. But in her space, the specific things that were much too small, she had a clock over her entryway table that just was teeny tiny. She had artwork over her couch. They were 3 little pieces, and the couch, honestly, not only the size but the color, they were just completely fading into the wall, made 0 impact. Then her art and her mirror, they were the same size, and so they were competing right next to each other. And then she has a cute little plant next to her fireplace that was also just teeny tiny. And the biggest thing that had the biggest scale issue was most definitely her teeny tiny rug. Teeny tiny! So, we actually, when we revealed this design to her through Skype, she did say that she had shrunk her Ruggable.
Right.
Which I have not heard being a common problem. And she did say that she will continue to buy Ruggables and wash them more gently because she's a huge fan. But if you are getting a Ruggable, just know you can shrink them. So when we were starting this, of course we knew that scale was the issue, but it was also that there was no focal point. You're like looking over here, you're looking over here. And I see that a lot with things that when scale is the issue, it makes a space look cluttered.
Right.
Which, if you know our design
we're like Scandinavian minimalist.
I probably wouldn't call us Scandinavian, but we do really design with a good amount of white space. So things that make big impact and then places for your eyes to rest. Not a lot of clutter. And I'm not saying if you have a lot of stuff, your house is not designed well, but
some people have that talent. We don't in particular have that skill set. But I would say Elizabeth's house didn't have too many items. It was the placement and the scale that was the issue.
Yeah, and it forced things to compete. So we pulled all that back and chose our focal point. So if you're having the same issue, choose your feature item, which we chose the fireplace. If you're in a living room and you have a fireplace, it's almost too easy to just go that route. So Mom's favorite thing next to the fireplace was the guitar hung on the wall, which was actually Elizabeth's husband's guitar. He said that was when they gave me their photos, they said, this cannot move.
And if you've seen us before, you know we love to work with challenges given to us by husbands. It always turns out to be something fabulous.
Yeah.
And so now we just lean into it every time.
Yeah, and it added so much character to that area, and I loved that chair there. So we knew that was gonna be a feature. We pulled down all the accents on the fireplace and then left the mirror. The mirror was great. That art next to there just didn't look like, I personally know Elizabeth, she was my college roommate, so I knew that didn't look like her.
It wasn't very sophisticated.
It wasn't sophisticated. No. We pulled that down, and then to deal with the plant, they didn't want to lose the plant. So my solution to the short plant was to add a taller plant with a matching pot.
It actually looks great.
So now that we will reveal the fireplace, you can see we've used minimal accents. So almost all of it was pulling back more than adding. So now that you can see a clearer picture of that, the fireplace had a really pretty like trim work accent on it. And so I wanted to bring that into the space somewhere else and tie it with a bow. So let's look at the couch area and kind of how our solution for that. So I loved that trim work, and that wall just wasn't doing anything for the space, and that was actually her biggest place. She was trying to make the room like have design with that wall.
Well, she did admit that the house didn't have much character.
Yeah.
And so they needed something to bring character into the home. So millwork's always one good way to bring character into your plain room.
So she wanted to do wallpaper, and I said I didn't feel like that was the solution. So adding that callback to that trim work on the fireplace on that wall not only is an easy DIY, makes huge impact, but it can be taken down if you need to. And then we added artwork to go in the middle. I felt like that was a more sophisticated look, and it's big.
Yeah, it's big.
It's not teeny tiny. It's not getting swallowed by the wall. So the wall makes a statement, and the art makes a statement. So now the couch, she has a really pretty Chesterfield couch, and there is a mid-century modern coffee table. So I think if you're looking without all the design, those two pieces kind of argue a little bit. It's like one is like European sophisticated and one is
simpler.
Yeah.
So I think one of the ways that you solved that problem was with the throw pillows.
The throw pillows and the rug. So I think the texture just united those. So
that's right.
And I think that's why the small rug was such it was making such an impact in a negative way in the room, because the couch and the coffee table needed to be brought together. So we chose a more cohesive rug. It added a little bit more sophistication. And so now here's the entire space. We also added accessories to her coffee table. Oh, and also we added a lamp. The lamp that was there was more industrial, and it wasn't playing into that more sophisticated feel that we were going for once we chose that fireplace as a focal point. And then we added 2 poofs. So they add more seating, but also they're just pretty.
And Elizabeth had purchased some accessories online, some baskets for the wall, which we love that. But she didn't realize, which it's hard to always tell, how many baskets she needed for that wall, and they came in much smaller than she had originally hoped for. So we just asked her to put a couple more large size baskets with those, and voila.
Well, and another thing that we did was we did pull back the pillows. She had a lot of pillows, and if you have a Chesterfield sofa, you want to emphasize that tuft, that like accent on the back. And so instead of having, I think she had like 6 or 7 pillows, pulled them all back and chose 3 pillows I feel like will make more of an impact, and they are very cost effective. So Target for the win. The next area was her TV wall. So she had some functional requests here. She wanted some shoe organization because they had their shoes just tossed in the little entry piece. I feel like we can all relate. Shoes right at the door and nowhere to put them. She didn't say anything as for the TV as far as function, but I felt like I wouldn't like my TV that low. We transformed this first by painting the entry piece charcoal because it felt like it wasn't differentiating enough from the TV piece. You want it to be cohesive, but you don't want it to look like you bought a matching set.
Right.
We painted it charcoal, added baskets for shoes, and then a gallery wall that was the appropriate size for over that piece rather than that tiny galvanized clock. Now we're going into the over the media piece. So I've mounted her TV up. You can see we've moved it up and framed it. So she can either choose to buy the frame TV, which is an investment, or there's a really cool DIY from Jenna Sue where she just framed a really affordable Samsung flat screen. And so Elizabeth's husband is pretty DIY savvy, and so I think that they could do that.
And he should especially do it since we saved his guitar.
Yeah, we saved his guitar. This is a pretty affordable project. And
you can do it, Brant.
Yes, but they did say they loved all of that, and they really loved that we kept so much of their stuff. I feel like a lot of people feel like they have to completely start over, but you can see in Elizabeth's space that you really don't have to. I think the biggest thing is it looks cohesive. You'd be like, what would you call this style? Her biggest dilemma was that it has no distinct style. So now we have to call it the style.
Well, it's eclectic.
It's eclectic, modern, traditional. I feel like that sounds like those words battle, but in reality, there is a little bit of modern and there's a lot of traditional, which I feel like is Elizabeth. She's a mix of a lot of things. And I feel like you should, in your home, you can do that. I feel like you don't have to have like, I am modern farmhouse, I am boho. Sometimes that boxes you in to where your home has no personality distinct to you. It's just distinct to Pinterest or Instagram. But we all have unique personalities, and I feel like that should be reflected in our home. And we do have a video talking about how to mix styles and examples of that. So I hope this is helpful for you. I hope that you feel empowered to design your own home, and I hope that if you're looking around and you're like, oh, this is the problem, my rug's too small, or you know, it gives you clarity on your own home. If you do have a dilemma that's outside of these questions, I have a link below where you can submit your project and we can also virtually transform your space. We're doing one a month and we're choosing the project that we feel like answers the most questions.
Right, so don't get your feelings hurt if we don't choose you. We love you, but we can only do so many, and so we're choosing the ones that we feel like will help the most people.
Yeah.
And then it may answer your question.
Yeah.
If you watch.
Yep. So make sure that you like,
subscribe, and share this with your friends.
Have a good day, guys. Bye.
Bye.